Hello, friends. Welcome in. How are you today? I hope you're having a fantastic, it's Friday. I feel like my schedule is so confused. Let's see. Just double check everything's working, and then we'll begin. Let's see. Okay, I think we're good. So we'll go ahead and move on over here. Welcoming everybody. Actually, where's the chat? Boop. I forgot to put that back yesterday. Sassy, welcome in. You were first. How are you today, Emmers? Welcome in, Emmers. How's it going? It is Friday, still for a few more hours. More hours here than you have. But I just have been getting confused. I think with yesterday just felt like a Friday to me because everyone was like off, you know, kind of. And so then I was like, this feels like a Saturday. It's not a Saturday though. But I also get confused because I'm oftentimes thinking about our Aussie pals. Joss, welcome in. How are you? I'm often thinking of our Aussie pals. So I'm like, it's their Saturday. So I'm getting confused. Anyway. Joss, how are you today? Also, we will be playing more Chicken Police. We'll probably hop in it sooner rather than later. I don't know how long today's stream will be. So we'll just kind of like, I don't know, go for a couple of hours and then we'll probably stop. But we'll end up hopping to the game sooner than later. Doing well in an Uber on my way to a friend's place to play board games. Oh, that's so fun. I hope that is a blast. You know what games we're gonna play? I'm having a great day. Played a bunch of Fez. Watched a crazy hockey game that ended with the Devils win. And now I'm here. Oh, that sounds like such a good day, Sassy. That sounds like a wonderful day. I also saw your Lego that arrived. They look great. They look awesome. When are you gonna build those? Start building those. I actually needed to go to the store for something today, and because it's Black Friday, I was like, you know what? Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't leave the house. Because I was like, even if I go early, people are probably up early driving around to, you know, try to get good deals and stuff. And I'm like, that'll make traffic a nightmare. So I'm like, let's just stay inside. I'll try to go tomorrow. Too much to bear. Welcome in. How are you? Bringing some options. Steam Up, Secret Hitler, Fun Employed, and Gloom. Oh, excellent. I've heard of all of those. I've never played any of them. But I hope you have an absolute blast. My favorite is Betrayal at House on the Hill. I think that is such a fun game. One of the last board games I played, which was actually a very long time ago, is a 2-player game, and it's called Inhuman Conditions. It's basically like Blade Runner, but just the scene in the very first movie. Yeah, the first scene of the first movie where the person's being interviewed. It's basically that. You're trying to find out if the person, the other player, is a human, a like hostile robot, or like a synth who's like conscious. And you have to do that by like both players following a certain set of rules. It's very fun. Is that the one where you can only play through a certain amount of times? Betrayal, not really. What it is it has multiple endings. And you can play those like I think as many times as you want, but But like I think the base game comes with like 60. So like you get a lot of like, you know, and it's randomly chosen. Like what ending like or end game you get is different every time, or not every time, but it's just randomized. But it's randomized like also like which player gets essentially. Hold on, rewind for people who've never played Betrayal at the House on the Hill. You start everyone off on the same team. You're exploring and uncovering a mansion by like you have tiles as your map, and when you walk through a door, you go to your map tile deck, and you like flip over a piece. And so like the mansion's going to be different every time. But there are little things that will have to cause you to draw cards and roll dice. And if you get a certain like card and dice roll, the haunt begins. And basically you look at, you open up the little rule book and there's like a chart. And it's like, if the haunt started with this card and with this item and whatever, then like, you know, the player to the right of this person is the is going to be the like, I forget what they call it, but it's like you're basically then the villain for the rest of the game, the antagonist, I guess. And so then the antagonists, they go off into probably like another room so that they can read their, like they get a special book that says, this is what your objective is and this is what you need to do. And then everybody else, they have a book that just tells them the information that they know, and that's it. So it could be like, I won one time as the villain where my character finds like a plant in like a pot, and it starts talking to me, and it's like telling me that it's my friend, and I'm like, yeah, you're my friend, and he's the plant's like, I'm hungry, like you need to bring me food, and my character's like, yeah, okay, I'll go bring you some food. So the rest of the time, my goal is trying to either kill and then or like maybe I can't kill them. Maybe it's like I have to knock out a player and then try to drag their body over to a room with the plant, or as an obstacle, there have been like the little potted plant or whatever has sprouted like vines in different rooms, and those can actually like if a player is in the same room as that plant or like a vine, it needs to, like, you do an attack roll, and if the plant succeeds, it then like grabs the player and is slowly like moving them towards the potted plant. Anyway, I won in that, and that was very fun. But it's like totally randomized sometimes. Also, the players are trying to escape the mansion at that point. But sometimes it's like, sometimes it's a player becomes the bad guy. Sometimes it's like, there's one where there's no bad guy. It's just like the mansion is now collapsing, or whatever. So it's very fun. Feed me, Seymour. It's just such a fun game. I love it. I absolutely love Betrayal. Anyway, Vix, welcome in. How are you? I've not played the Legacy version. I've only played the original, and that I love. I know there's also an expansion that adds like a bunch more, haunts and stuff, and items and cards and things. Betrayal House on the Hill can be played indefinitely, but there's a Legacy version, which is what... Oh, is that what it is? Okay. Yeah, it's Legacy. That's what me and my friends did once. Oh, very cool. Wait, I think I played both. Both. Nice. I've played the Collapsing Mansion one. There's a Scooby-Doo themed one too. Oh, amazing. I own the game, and I still haven't played every ending. Sick, but I'm all right. Oh, I'm so sorry, Vix, that you're still not feeling well. I hope you feel better. Yeah, there's so many cool endings to that game, and like, one of the first times I played it, like I think I had played it with a couple of friends, and then I brought it over. This is many years ago. I brought it over to a friend's house, and it was the first time I was ever playing with them. We were at, yeah, so the person who ended up becoming the like villain, we were at their place. So he went into his room to go read like his instructions. When we started the game, he was like in normal clothing. While we were all discussing like our plan, I can't remember what the haunt was, but he came back and he had changed into like a suit with like a deep red button-down shirt with like a black tie. So he looked very like villainous. It was like dark suit, black tie, deep red undershirt, or like a button down. It was great. It was incredibly like immersive. I felt that's amazing. Yeah, he was great. He was very, very fun to play games with. He got really into them. It was fantastic. I called in sick today, so hopefully the ability to just rest for 3 days will help. I hope so. Please get lots of rest. Drink some soup and stuff. We love a costume change. Yeah, it was just so like, oh wow. Like I love, because we had talked for a bit. Like I think it was something to do with like, I think in this one, the only way we could like escape is if we had collected certain items. And so we needed to like before we could open the door, we had to go to different rooms and like locate like a ring maybe and like other things, all the while he's trying to kill us. And I think that was it. So it was just really fun. But there's so many different like there's so many different twists in the haunts and stuff. It's just a great game. If you guys have a group of people to play with, I think it's probably best with at least 4 people. Alex, welcome in. How are you? How's it going? I'm doing pretty good. I think it's good with at least 4 people. I think 3 people's too small of a group. What have you been up to? Did you finish Rise of the Golden Idol? That is like on my like I'm trying to get through Chicken Police so that way we can get to Rise of the Golden Idol. There's also Mythwrecked comes out on the 5th. Yeah, there's so much to do. Yes, it was brilliant. Oh, that's so good to hear. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to play. I saw you had been playing that and I was like, I need to get through Chicken Police. Gotta run, but have a great rest of stream. Joss, I hope you have a good one. I can't wait. That's gonna be like, I think we're gonna see what happens. I might try to do bonus streams tomorrow and Sunday just to see if we can get through Chicken Police. Because if possible, I would love to do Rise of the Golden Idol really early next week. Because on the 5th is when Mythwrecked comes out, which I'm excited about. And I would like to play that on launch day, because I think we're getting a code for it. Thank you for getting me onto them. Of course. I feel like, I was like, I think you'd like them. Also, there is a game that is on sale on Steam that you might want to check a look at. When I looked up games that were similar to Chants of Sennaar, this was one of the ones that was recommended. But I haven't played it yet, so I don't know. Don't take me at my word. Though I think I am gonna pick it up. Where are you? Heaven's Vault is currently 60% off. It's $10 US. But it is very similar in that you are like uncovering a language. That's all I know, but it is, well, recent reviews say mixed, so I don't know, but overall it's very positive. I wonder why it's mixed recently. But it's only out of 17 reviews, but like very positive 1,600. So I don't know. You know, maybe do your own research first. But I kept, any time I was like games like Chants of Sennaar, this is one of the ones that were like, you know. So I don't know. Could be good, could be bad, but $10. I mean, I might pick it up anyway because $10 isn't, for us isn't like too terrible. It could be, you know, I'm okay with playing a bad game. Also, by the way, for those that weren't here yesterday, we played a game called Her Story, an FMV game. Boy, one, it was very good overall. There was something quite shocking towards the end of the stream. I did finish it, Daz. There was something that was quite shocking at the end towards the end of the stream. That was not even like the twist. It wasn't even, or like, it wasn't like an ending twist or something. It was just like, just something that happens to some of the characters. And I was like, what? Like, why? I don't know how to deal with this. Anyway, so if you play Her Story and if you play Her Story and you look at the warnings list, just know that it's like serious, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, are there any games that you're looking forward to, Alex, that are on your radar? Any indie games or something? Daz, how are you doing this morning? Also, Daz, I feel like there was something I was going to tell you, and now I cannot remember. But I was thinking about it earlier today. I was like, next time I see Daz, immediately forgets. It also wasn't really necessary for moving the plot along IMO. Feels more like it was added in for shock value. Yes, 100% I agree. It doesn't really affect anything. And I think maybe that's why it was so shocking. I think I was just like, am I hearing what I think I'm hearing? I don't know. I'm wanting to play some cozy PS5 games this weekend because I'm not feeling so great, but I really have no idea what to play. Have you ever played Slime Rancher? Slime Rancher 1 is on PlayStation, and it is very cozy. I find it also very addicting. Finish Chicken, go play Final Fantasy 16. I want to play Final Fantasy 16. It won't be my next one for sure. It'll probably have to be next year, but I really want to play Final Fantasy 16. Sekiro yesterday, so I'm set for a good while. Fair. I've heard good things. I've never played it, but I've heard very good things. I like. It seems to be one of those games that has like a really big following. Not next one. What's after Chicken? So, we have a couple of indie games, but then we'll be playing Zelda, I think, for most of December. So, Rise of the Golden Idol, Mythwrecked. I also got a code for Balatro, so we might throw that in at some point, but that might be after we've started Zelda. Zelda, which, Tears of the Kingdom, I never finished it. I actually didn't get very far in it either. I've only played like 25 hours of it. And that was mostly me just trying to like unlock all the towers of the map, which I didn't even do. I just stopped at some point. We got distracted with something. So we're going to go back to that, I think, for most of December. Because also people tend to be, at least here, I feel like people tend to be busier in December. It gets quiet here in our channel around December. So I feel like it's a good time for me to just play something that most people have played, but you know, I don't know. Yeah, you finished that for sure. Yeah, but I definitely want to play 16. It'll be on my list, 100%. I started watching Arcane yesterday. I watched the first 3 episodes of season 2. I should mention of season 2. Pretty good. I will say, I think so far, I would say season 1 has a stronger start, but they're like picking it up, you know, right where season 1 left off. So, but the animation of Arcane is so good. If you've never watched League of Legends, you don't need to watch, or you don't need to play League of Legends to watch Arcane. I would recommend it also, especially even if you just watch season 1. It's incredible. Very well done. I know Arcane. I hear good things. Yeah, you should. I think you would like it. It's very good. There's only, I think it's 9 episodes a season. They're about 40 minutes each, I think, episode. But the like art style, and it's just so good. Just very, very well done. I think you put me onto Severance. You watched it? Oh, so good. Enjoyed, right? What? Okay, and one, you've did you watch that recently? Was it like within like the past like month or two or something? Because I think I only brought it up somewhat recently. I hope it was recent, because season 2 of Severance. Okay, good. So season 2, that looked really Severance. Oh, Alex, it's very good. I had not heard of it. Tapacado or Tap, he recommended it to me earlier this year, I think it was, or late last year, and I was like so upset when it finished, because I was like, I need more. Like, I need season 2. And I think at that point, it had been like announced that they would be filming it, but it hadn't even started production. And I was like, no. But I think season 2 of Severance is releasing either late January or early February or something. So it's going to be continuing very soon, and I am looking forward to that. So, Alex, it's a good time if you're interested in Severance to get started. Well done. I did not expect it to be so good. It honestly reminds me of an older show that I kind of think was ahead of its time. But Dollhouse, which was a Joss Whedon show. He's a little, sketchy, but Dollhouse has a very similar premise. Love Dollhouse? Yeah, it was so good. And like nobody has watched it except for Sassy and Dez. But I had a friend who, we loved like Buffy and stuff. And so we watched Dollhouse as well. And some of those other shows. But Dollhouse is very good. It's because of Dollhouse that I think Whiskey would be a great girl's name. There's a woman named Whiskey in the show. Or she goes by Whiskey, anyway. They killed the ending, but otherwise loved it. Yes. It was odd. They did this weird thing, for people who've never watched the show, they did this weird thing where, like, the last episode of every season, and there's only 2 seasons, the last episode of every season, for whatever reason, takes place in, like, the future. In, like, a far ahead future. And I just remember being like, what's going on? It kind of puts it puts the writers into a corner if you do that, as well as it makes the audience know, like, well, I know this character can't die because they're in the future. Like they're in this future reality or whatever. But Amy Acker, she's the character who played Whiskey. She did a great job. She was the doctor, and she had the scars on her face and stuff. I thought she did such a good job. I also loved. So there was like the agent who was like trying to uncover the dollhouse. For people who've never watched Dollhouse, let me just give you like a overview, nothing too spoilery, but basically the Dollhouse is like a place where people can go to like, if they, let's say they owe a lot of money, or they need a lot of like help, financial help for their family or whatever, what they can do if they sort of pass a bunch of, like kind of general inspection tests of themselves and their body or whatever, they can be like sold to the dollhouse, where the people there take your mind, back it up on a hard drive, and then you're basically a blank slate. And what they do is then they load personalities into you, and then you get kind of like rented out to people or governments or whatever for like a limited amount of time. And they say, like, to you, you'll just wake up, a couple years from now or whatever, and it'll seem like you've just been asleep or whatever. And so like the episodes are sort of like these different characters that they're going on different missions or whatever, but then it starts to like, the overarching plot is that one of these dolls is starting to kind of like wake up and become their own person and like retain all of the personalities that she's like been like absorbing, sort of like, you know, as they like input a mind and erase it and whatever. And it's so good. Like I thought like the drama of it and all of that is just, it's so good. But anyway, there was that agent who was trying to uncover the dollhouse. His like neighbor who was like, who had a crush on him. I thought she did such a great job too. I don't know, she's great. Alan Tudyk, yeah, he was great. He was great, yeah. He's a fantastic actor. Like, I feel like anything I've seen him in, he just does such a good job. He was Wash in Firefly, for people who've seen Firefly. Yeah, Dollhouse, I think, was honestly ahead of its time. I was thinking about it the other day, in fact. I was like, I kind of want to rewatch some of it, because I really loved, at the beginning, the progression of Echo. The first couple of episodes, I think, are kind of like, you don't really know what you're watching, really. But it's not until maybe, like, episode 3 that you really start seeing, like she's changing and kind of, like, picking up on things. It's so good. So very good. There's a lot of classic, like, what would you call that? Like a bit actor, I guess, where it's like, you'll see somebody and you're like, I've seen this guy on other shows and he always plays a villain. or like, I've seen this character in other shows and they always play this type of character or whatever. There's a lot of classic, sort of like, you know, typecast role people in there, and it's kind of funny anyways. Paul Ballard and Madeline November. Right. That's so good. I saw Paul Ballard was in Elementary also. The guy who played him was in I think it was Elementary. He was in some show that I watched. And I was like, it's that guy. He plays like an assassin for a couple of episodes. And I was like, oh my goodness, it's that guy. The Nerdy Tech Guy, yeah. He had a cool story. He had like a really interesting story and a sad one also. Actually, Topher, yeah, that was his name, right? Yeah. What was her... I know her real name is like Deacon Lockman. I don't remember her like doll name. Hold on. Dollhouse. IMDb. I'm gonna have to watch Dollhouse soon. It's decided. Sierra. She was also in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And she did such a great job. And she's actually in a lot of stuff. Discord watch party went, it's been so long. Dollhouse is just so good. Eliza Dushku also did fantastic. I also, actually, Deacon, I'd actually know how to say her name. She was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., as was Victor. Enver Jokai, I think is his name. That's how you say that. What was I gonna say? Anyway, it's such a good show. 27 episodes. I think I might have to watch it. A shadowy organization uses mind-wiped humans known as actives, and colloquially, I always struggle with that word, as dolls, who are imprinted with false memories and specialized skills for various tasks on behalf of paying clients. When they are not on assignments, they live in an underground dollhouse, a facility that protects and provides for their needs, including food, exercise, and sleeping pods. Sleeping pods little bigger than coffins. One of the dolls, a young woman named Echo by her handlers, is slowly becoming aware of herself and what is going on. Meanwhile, at least 2 different people on the outside are trying to bring down the dollhouse, one by finding Echo and the other by using her. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's a fantastic idea. Do it. Maybe. There's actually quite a few, like, I was just thinking about, there's a few good episodes that have stuck in my head. One, I was gonna say Topher has that episode where I guess it was something like the anniversary of like a girlfriend's death or something. And so he like every year takes like a day off where he's still in the office, but like he gets Sierra to like be his girlfriend, or was she like an assistant maybe or something that he had something happened to somebody that he loved and then whatever. And then I also liked what is that guy's name? He's a comedian. He's on a lot of shows. He was on Parks and Rec for an episode where he like goes on a rant on Star Wars, the Star Wars filibuster. Patton Oswalt is on an episode of Dollhouse where like it's something like his wife died a while back. And Paul Ballard, I think, is like following him because he thinks he's like I think Paul figures out he's like a client of the Dollhouse, and I think accuses him of, you know, just being like, being like, you're buying humans and it's sick and whatever. And like, you kind of feel bad though for Patton Oswalt's character because you learn like, it's just like, he doesn't do anything weird or shady. It's just that, he, like, his wife died. And so he just every year he reenacts sort of like the last day that they like spent together or something. Like he bought her a house, I think. And so it's always like him showing her the house that they bought and whatever. And that's kind of like it. And I was just like it's so sad. There's so like, there were very shady people on the show anyways, but like still. Just friend, I think, but they just had fun the whole day. Who wouldn't love that, you know? Play video games and eat junk food. Me every day. Such a good show. I also thought it was very good for Eliza Dushku. Like I think she did like it got her to show some range, I think. Faith on Buffy was, I think, very kind of one note-ish. Maybe 2 notes. Faith had kind of like 2 notes. And I think this got to show her playing some very different characters, but still kind of playing the tough active girl, you know, which I thought she does well. So, anyway, I really enjoyed that show. I'm always surprised when people say they've watched it, because it's like, I feel like I know nobody who's ever even heard of the show. So when people have actually been like, yeah, I've watched it, it's like, how wild. Anyway, yeah. It's a good one. It's a good one. But Amy Acker, I think, does a great job. The 3 biggest fans unite. I know, seriously. I think Amy Acker was my favorite. She was also on Angel. I think Dollhouse, though, is when I feel like, when I was watching it, I was like, she's like a very talented actor. And then I also saw Much Ado About Nothing, and she plays I forget the main girl's name, but she also does an excellent job there. She just is very, very good. Clark Gregg is in there as well. A lot of actually Buffy people are in there, or like Buffy, Angel. I think there are some Dollhouse actors in there as well. They just do a good job. Knew Sassy and yourself had good taste. I know, right? I just love a good show, and the storytelling was very good. And again, besides maybe like the season endings, the rest of it was very good. And I don't know. I think it was a bit ahead of its time. But when I watched Severance, I was like, this is very Dollhouse, in a way. It just is very reminiscent of that. Severance is maybe an elevated Dollhouse. Oh, I will say one thing about Arcane. Especially season 2, I don't remember this happening in season 1. But it's like, they have, the way they have chosen the music for Arcane season 2 is reminiscent of like a CW show, where the lyrics are incredibly on the nose to what's happening on the screen. Almost to like a hilarious degree, I think. Like, there was like one song where like, you know, it'll be like, it says, the lyrics say something about like a door closing, and then you see like a coffin door closing, and then it's like, you know, I'm walking in the rain and somebody's walking in the rain. Like, it's very on the nose. I don't like it. It's not like, that's not something I enjoy. I've heard, because I've watched a deep dive on the Vampire Diaries. I've never actually seen the Vampire Diaries. Apparently the Vampire Diaries did that a lot. And so I think it's a very like CW thing. And I don't recall it happening much in season 1. I thought the music of season 1 was very good. But there will just be scenes where it's like, I'm watching, it's like a montage. Like, no characters are talking, you're just listening to the song and the lyrics. And it's just like, just looking around like, they're literally doing what's in the song, and this feels weird. So, I don't know. Anyway, I can't wait to continue. It's apparently the last season of this, like, story of Arcane. I know they're saying they're working on other shows within the League of Legends universe, but this is sort of like Arcane is going to be wrapped up in this season, so I'm interested to see what'll happen. But friends, let's go ahead and start getting into Chicken Please. I don't know how long this stream will be today. We'll probably just go for like another hour and a half or something. And then we'll stop. So, we're not playing Her Story. Hold on. Exit out of this game, please. All right. Chicken Police. There we go. Also, for some reason, I'm not hearing any music anymore. Hello? You guys are hearing music. Okay, that's fine. We can actually just... move over here. Okay. So... friends, if you've not been here for Chicken Police, I will give you just the briefest of rundowns. And we're up to where we left off. Essentially, these two characters here in the middle, these are the Chicken Police. In fact, if you could not tell. They are kind of a ragtag duo, a sort of famous cop duo, and they are currently investigating the disappearance of a body, somebody's a widow. I think this is the widow. Her husband died, and his body was stolen. She approached us about finding his body, so we ended up going ahead and doing that. Something to mention is that the insects in this universe are like persecuted and discriminated against, and are in fact segregated into their own little living area called the Hive. It is sort of like a lawless part of like outside a lawless area outside the city. Did we work out if they're Soylent Green yet? No. So we got interrupted in that case by this guy. His name is Lupus something. He's an actor, and he is currently being blackmailed for having an affair, and has since been, like, the threats have escalated to a point of, like, violence. He asked us to attend a premiere where the king was also going to be in attendance, because he was afraid that something bad was going to happen. We were at the premiere. The premiere went smoothly until we learned that his body double, who was back at the studio, was murdered kind of in his place. And it's not really clear if the killer knows it's the body double. The body double apparently was like an aspiring actor who like really wanted to be like Lupus. And so like while everyone was at the premiere, he went into his dressing room and actually like dressed up as him, probably to just, you know, try to, you know, see what it's like to be Lupus or whatever. And then he was killed. And so we were at the crime scene, and I think we're about to leave the crime scene to investigate something else. But back to the bug case for a second. We did learn that there might be something going on with insect people being used as food, which would not be good. It'd be the equivalent of like eating humans, I guess. Taking body snatchers to a whole new meaning, yes. And I will mention, this guy is Mongrel Mick. He is a gang leader. We've actually not met him yet. But he keeps being mentioned. And I don't think we know who this lady is. Oh, I will mention, 'cause unless this is her, no, it might be her. The king has a new advisor. And she is a femme fatale, for sure. She clearly has something up her sleeve, but we really don't know what it is. She is like the head of some kind of like religious organization, and seems to have the king kind of wrapped around her finger. So for what purpose, we don't really know. But we did interview her, and like it was a lot of like back and forth, roundabout sort of like, you know, I don't know, it was interesting. Oh, okay, so I think we left the scene, and I think we're like going to sleep. I think that's what it is. So we like dropped off Marty. I think this is what's happening.
Shit, he's right. I am scared.
I am scared.
So, you asked around?
The Fang was the most revealing. Anyone I mentioned that we'd found one of these would immediately shut up.
Right.
I don't know, it's like there's clan spies on every corner.
While we were at the premiere, we sent Marty off to go investigate the textile factory, which is where this like meat product is being made. That's the product that we think is maybe being made out of bugs. And so we did this last time, but I'm gonna re-listen to this just to
Because they are.
Remind
They're
myself.
deeply embedded in the fabric of the Hive.
No wonder. Zero police presence. Basically, they can do whatever they want.
Yeah, but not for long.
That's the spirit.
Okay.
So, how did it go with, Laura?
You know, it could have been worse.
That's not very encouraging.
Well, I guess we're staying together. For now. But I have to change.
But why? You're perfect.
Yeah. But I don't think Laura can keep up with this life.
You being a chicken policeman.
We're here now in the dead of night.
But it doesn't have to be this way, Marty. You can always say no.
I know, Boss Bird. But, you know, I don't want you to kill yourself.
Hey,
What do you think I've been doing for over a decade? Protecting your ass.
all right, let's just drop it. Listen, buddy, I'm sorry you weren't at the premiere.
No, Sonny. At first, I thought I was gonna be sorry too. But it felt good to leave that place.
How come?
You left everything to me. Even your car. While you were suffering, and I know that party was really painful for you. So, that felt good. Thanks, big boss.
Ah, come on, give me a break.
No, I'm serious. That meant a lot to me.
Okay, okay, don't get all sentimental. We got work to do.
Yeah, right.
By the way, the movie sucked.
What? No, you're just saying that.
Hope you took care of the car.
I've never been so careful of anything in my life, Sonny.
Good.
Although I'm surprised I made it here alive.
Well, a lady like that, you gotta know how to handle her.
Well, speaking of handling ladies, I'll be going. Glad I could help, boys. Take care of yourselves.
Thanks, Mon. You know, we're in your debt for life. I mean that.
Well, maybe you can buy me a cup of coffee someday. If you make it through the night.
I'll try.
Ooh, that's cute.
Shut up, Marty.
So what's up? Where to next?
We need to get back to the Hive. But first, we need to gather our thoughts.
Well, there's much to unravel, that's for sure.
She keeps asking for some coffee. Piece together the chain of events by combining the right events with the right animals. We did this last time, but just in case. Cycle through the events to select the one that best fits into each panel. Each event can only be used once. Each panel will require you to select 1 or 2 animals. The same animal cannot be present on multiple panels. You can track your progress at the bottom. Done. Select the event. Mysterious threats against a movie star. A revealing photo as the subject of threats. I think she's trying to give Sonny clues. She's interested, but he's dense. Yeah, he's like, yeah, sure, I'll get you some coffee. The body of an innocent in the film studio. Wait, let's come back to that for a second. A strange message with an insect cipher. We talked to Filmar about it. Okay. This whole case might have something to do with Frank. Okay.
Someone has threatened Mr. Cassidy Lupus, the famous movie star. The threat was based on photographic evidence of the wolf having a romp with a famous writer. Filmar says the message was written in some kind of ancient insect writing, which could have something to do with the disappearance of the bodies and Frank.
Chapter 3. Meat is us! Oh, goodness, it's happening. It's happening.
The insect writing and the disappearance of Frank's body. Are these two things really connected, or am I chasing ghosts? Either way, all roads lead to the Hive. As we slowly left downtown Clawville, and the ominous outlines of the Hive's buildings began to appear, a kind of panic took over. "Turn back," screamed a voice in my skull. I knew I was going to need an insanely strong cup of coffee before we crossed the border into Roachtown. Luckily, Zip's coffee shop was right on the border, like a last beacon
Zip
on a raging sea.
By the way, for people who have not seen this before, this is actually the second game in a series. You don't have to play the first one to, like, know to play the second one, or to play this one. But it's helpful because, like, there's a lot of returning characters and stuff, so it's very fun. So Zip is my favorite character from both games.
I gotta have a coffee, otherwise I won't survive the night.
Rough one, huh? It must be awful mingling with so many rich and famous people.
Guess what? It really was. And that movie.
Was it really that bad? But I still want to see it.
Trust me, you don't want to do that.
There's no justice in the wilds.
There sure ain't.
Pip.
El Wolf premieres tonight, but what are the Chicken Police doing at the event? Here's the new Clawville Chronicle!
Wait, what?
Here's the new issue, sirs.
What do you mean, what are the Chicken Police doing at the event? This just happened. Or it's still happening.
I don't write the news, sir. I just deliver it. This is the Clawville Chronicle!
Stop shouting, will ya? We're standing right here.
You hear that, Sonny? News travels fast around here.
And there's a mole at the station. You know what's what all the time, huh?
I don't read the papers, sir. I'm not very good at reading.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you, sir. But that's all right, sir. I'm better at talking.
That's for sure.
The Clawville Chronicle is here!
Marty's nice.
I have a bad feeling about...
You always have a bad feeling, Marty.
Yeah, true. But sometimes I'm right.
That's why you use a shotgun, huh?
Yeah, you don't have to aim and you still have a good chance of scoring.
Zip! Let's talk to Uncle Mullen first.
We're going to the slaughterhouse, old beaver.
Save the best for last.
Any advice?
You're going to get yourselves into the Hive, huh? Then I wish you all the courage in the world, and of course, a shotgun.
Finally, somebody speaking my language.
Anything else, Pops?
Don't get yourself killed, sonny boy, or who'll be godfather to Martin's little chick?
What the?
I haven't asked him yet, Pops.
It
What?
shouldn't be such a surprise anyway. After all, who else could it be? Zip?
What? Don't even say that.
Quiet. He'll hear you. Then who knows what he'll put in our coffee.
You're right there.
Marty, that's why Lara's upset. She doesn't want him to be a police anymore because they're gonna have a babby. Aww. Adorable. Oops.
Hey, you two, still alive?
Why shouldn't we be?
Little birds were tweeting that you were swooping in and out of the hive like it was your own. It's a wonder your heads are still on your shoulders.
Maybe it's our charm.
And because we're fearless police detectives.
Yeah, sure. I don't need the goat shit. So what do you need? I don't want to get involved in any of the hive stuff. I got enough problems as it is.
What kind of hive stuff?
Oh, give me that, Sonny. I'm not buying your detective mind tricks. You know what I'm talking about. The place is a big pile of TNT that's been lit a long time ago. Maybe it was you two.
Why is everyone bringing that up?
Listen, Zip, this is important. There are some things we'd like to ask you. You've got a perfect view of the hive, and you seem to have the right contacts inside.
Don't flatter me, Sonny. I'm not that easy, but, I've made some useful friends over the years, that's for sure.
I like his
Well,
dagger
this is the
tattoo.
perfect time to serve the public good, buddy.
Public good my ass. Well, okay. Spill your guts.
Spill your guts. About Frank.
Hey, Zip, Frank's been here many times. Did he mention what he was working on?
Nah, not really. You know, Sonny, Frank's a crazy bug. He's always cryptic and talking in riddles. I'll be a goat if I know what he means sometimes.
And the clan? Has he had run-ins with them?
Now that you mention it, yeah. Partly about me. You know, Mick wanted to get this place for himself. Then Frank and Moses took him out of business.
You think that could have put Frank in danger?
Maybe. But who's not in danger in and around the hive, huh?
Yeah, right. Okay, thanks, Zip. Watch your back.
Thanks, Sonny. Old age made you sentimental, huh?
Clock off, trash panda.
Now that's the Sonny I know.
What's the mood like inside?
What kind of mood? No mood there, Sonny. Just misery and anger in their purest form.
How the hell did we get here?
I suppose it was a rhetorical question, but the answer is simple. Our beloved king made some stupid decisions. Putting the insects behind walls was just fuel for an already blazing fire. Now these flames threaten the entire city.
When will they reach us? Today? Tomorrow?
Who knows? Any moment now. And the closure of the textile factory has made matters worse.
And the MEAT plant. Doesn't it provide more jobs?
Fuck that. They're moving the animals by bus through the hive. In and out, in and out. Not a single insect waits there.
But why? Why risk it? They could end up having the place burnt down by furious, starving insects.
I don't know, Sonny. You'd need a detective for that. Are they hiding something? Well, ask them.
You know, Zip, that's exactly what we're gonna do.
What? Go into that fortress? Good luck, Roosters. It was nice knowing you.
Cluck, I'm having deja vu. It's like this conversation has already happened once.
More than once. But we always survived, didn't we?
A rooster walks into a meat market until he ends up on the counter.
What kind of saying is that?
I just made it up. Clever, huh?
Don't you worry about us, Zip. We're not gonna barge in unprepared.
Maybe ask old Blood Boil for a tank. Huh, the posters say he's got one.
Ha ha. Very funny, Zip.
Not a bad idea.
We're not asking anybody for a tank, Marty. So what do you know about this MEAT?
It's a meat substitute. The cheapest and yet the best one. It crushed the competition like it wasn't even there.
And the new factory?
The old textile factory was converted into this new plant. And it's huge. So big, you could be sure it's not just producing for the city.
They're going for world domination?
With a product like this, they'd be stupid not to. They can't make it as fast as it sells.
And the king? What does he say about this?
Nothing. Or maybe his paw's also involved. Who knows?
Well, we have to get a can of this. I want to know exactly what's in it.
I got one right here. You want a sample? $5 Clovillion bucks.
What? But Zip, this is public interest. It's a police matter.
If you have a warrant, you can seize it. Otherwise, $5. You want it or not, cheapskate?
You're such a piece of crap, Zip. Here you go.
Thanks, my man. Here's your can.
Canned meat. A tin from the meat factory. It makes my stomach turn, and I can't tell you why, but I have to carry it around with me because it might be valuable evidence. Nothing special about it. I'm like expecting we're gonna open it. It's just gonna be like, clearly it's made out of insects. Like it's just like there's like an eye in there or something.
We visited Queen Zenaida. Can you tell us anything about her, old beaver?
Ah, the Great Web, am I right? Quite a woman, huh?
Well, it's not often you get to mingle with living legends. Except you, of course, Pops.
All right, the smooth talk's still going, I see. But let me tell you something about that woman and the Great Web.
We're listening.
As much as they seem weak and vulnerable now, and even to be at the forefront of the insect cause like some kind of freedom fighters, we must not forget who they are and where they come from.
What exactly do you mean?
You know. Until the Segregation Act was passed, before the insects were isolated from the outside world, the Great Web preyed on them, just as the clan does now.
You mean all that we're reformed rhetoric is just a cover?
I'm sure they mean it sincerely now. After all, if insects are suffering, there's nothing to take from them. But once things improve, they'll be back to being the predatory tyrants they used to be.
Oh, thanks for your honest thoughts, Pops.
Don't mention it. That's all you get from me, sonny boy. Honesty and bad beaver jokes, of course.
Oh, yes, the famous beaver jokes. You got one up your sleeve right now, don't you?
Of course I do. So, I went to Nautica last time, but I didn't stay long.
How come?
There's something fishy about that place.
Oh, that was awful, old-timer. How can Desiree stand it?
She can't. That's why I'm here.
Hold on. My headphones did a dumb thing. Hold on. I hate this thing so much. Hold on. Do I still have... I don't know what just happened. So... Okay, so I really like these headphones. in general, but I don't really like that it doesn't have buttons on it. Like, it has a power button and it has like a mode switch button, but it does this thing where it has a mode called speak to chat on, where if you are listening to music or playing a game or whatever, and you start talking, it will pause whatever it is that you're listening to. I typically have it off, but there are multiple ways for it to begin. One is if you put, like, if you have 4 fingers touching this part, it'll just turn on. And for some reason, I don't know why, it just turned on and I wasn't doing anything. I don't know if, like, a button got pushed accidentally or something, but I hate it because you then can't listen to anything. Like, it interrupts it all. So I typically have it turned off, but yeah, it just turned on automatically. I hate it. And I wish I was just now trying to get it to, like, turn off and it wouldn't. Anyway.
We had a little trip into the Hive, old beaver. How can I say?
Not a heartwarming experience, am I right? I remember when it was a real buzzing, lively place. Wonderful people, fantastic food.
Wasp-wasted women.
That too, Martin. I know you spent half your teenage years there.
I used to love hanging around the Honeyfall Tower and getting into trouble with the boys.
Well, these are different times now. We've spoiled everything for the future generations.
Hey, you're not supposed to be so ominous, Pops. In fact, you're usually the one who pours the spirit into us.
All is not lost, even I know that. But there's less and less hope.
We'll make sure there's still some hope, old beaver.
Yeah, I know, sonny boy. You were always a hopeless dreamer deep inside, despite your grim and pragmatic exterior.
See? That's what I always tell him.
Okay. So, back to the Hive. And by that I mean, no. I guess, are we supposed to... Ah, look at that. Maybe, hold on. Let's go back to zip.
Next time, maybe. Ah, for Cluck's sake.
So there's something now unlocked here, but we have to figure out how to... Can I combine with... Use item, inspect, combined.
Ah, for Cluck's sake. Next time, but not now.
This far up and down. I don't see... When there's like something to uncover by inspecting it, there's usually like a symbol. And I'm not supposed to go anywhere? Or can I? Okay, so we're where we're supposed to be. Can I give it to Pip?
Huh? Ah, for Cluck's sake.
Okay. Yep. None of this makes sense, but I don't know what to do. Maybe, am I supposed to talk to, just talk to Zip? Does he have like a bowl or something that we can...
Hey, you two.
Why shouldn't we be?
Little birds were tweeting that you were swooping in and out of the hive like it was your own. It's a wonder your heads are still on your shoulder.
Maybe it's our charm.
And because we're fearless police detectives.
Yeah, sure. I don't need the goat shit.
What kind of...
Yeah, we saw this.
Kim.
Why is everyone...
There's no...
I don't even mix my...
There's nothing else here besides that. We can't talk to you about anything else. Can I, like, click on this? Hello?
Next time. But not now.
What do I need to do with this? I assume we need to like like look inside it or something. There's nowhere we can go. Hold on. Bubo. But Bubo's clinic. We can't go there.
Are those bullet holes?
Welcome to the Hive, son.
Sick. Are those bullet holes?
What else I can do here? Oh.
Hey, what have we here?
Moses and Plato, the last train to Clawville? What?
Looks like Meredith isn't writing novels about us anymore. Thanks to the wild ones.
That treacherous bitch.
Relax, Marty. You have to accept it. We're no longer the top dogs in town.
Don't you ever say that, you hear me?
Hey, just relax, big boy.
I can't believe she betrayed us like that.
Do you think this is based loosely on reality? Like the volumes she's written about us?
Well, yeah. I heard there was trouble on the Clawville Express with the Stavonian ambassador.
We'll have to ask Moses and his cat about this.
Whatever.
Stop whining about a stupid book. Besides, we've been the subject of 10 volumes, right?
But still...
You'll survive, trust me.
It's about the game. Cross promotion. What am I supposed to do with this tin can? Oh, we have a book now. So we actually can't. Oh. Hold on. A book written about Moses and Plato, specifically about their latest case, heavily fictionalized, I suppose. It is written by none other than Meredith H. Marble, author of the 11 Chicken Police novels. A peace ambassador is killed, and it falls to two detectives to find the killer before the train reaches Clawville. An adventurous tale of murder, lust, love, and revenge set across the wilderness. The first volume of the Moses and Plato cycle. Okay, well, it still doesn't... Can I combine with this book? Just double check. See, there's no, like, that diamond shape is not available, so... Is there something else that's supposed to... Wait, hold on. Maybe there's, like...
What about this? What's
Oh.
with the chicken scratches?
So you've never seen one of these?
Actually, I have. It's some old insect writing, I think. Someone used to scribble these on my wall. It didn't make much sense because most insects don't even know that language anymore.
Do you know anyone who can read it?
Nah, I don't think so. But I have a guess who you should show it to.
Who?
8 limbs, otherworldly voice, blood-curdling looks, and implacable manners.
The Queen? Cluck, we barely made it out of there alive. Any other ideas?
Who knows how old that witch is? 100 or more? If anybody knows anything about old writings, it's her.
Yeah, maybe we'll try. Thanks for the tip, Trash Panda.
You're welcome. But order something or I'll throw you out of here. This is a decent place now, okay?
Okay. I could use a cup of Java.
Make it 2, bartender.
Wow, where did you find this? Maybe in an antique shop?
Does it look familiar?
I even had a book with similar writing, and my dear wife Desiree knew a few words in that language, although the writing didn't look exactly like this.
You mean this could have been manipulated somehow?
I don't know, I'm not a writing expert, but anything's possible. I think they used codes like this in the wall.
They did? Well, that's interesting. Thanks, Pops.
No problem, boys. But don't go yet. I've got a new beaver joke if you're interested.
Oh, no.
Sure, Uncle. Hit me.
So, I gave my assistant a to-do list, but he only did jobs 1, 3, and 5. Turns out, he only does odd jobs.
Oh, jeez, help me.
I love it. Hope you never run out of them, old beaver.
I wish my wife shared your enthusiasm, Martin.
So now... Now we can... Okay, now we can leave. Let's go... we're gonna go first to Bubbo's clinic, but we're gonna...
Well, did you bring his body?
The truth is...
He's gone.
Gone? Oh, great. Did he run away or someone take him?
They took him, and I think we know where.
Disposing of evidence, huh?
Pulped.
Pulped. That sounds interesting.
You know what? We didn't say anything, old creep.
If you find him, let me know. I might be able to help you out.
You got it. But no funny business. You're not gonna eat Frank, okay?
Ooh, what are you thinking, The very suggestion is offensive.
Okay, we have to take an ad break, so we will be RB. But friends, stand up, stretch, etc., and I will see you guys here very shortly. BRB.
This is your time, Jetpack Gang. Stand up, move around, grab a snack, hydrate. The stream will resume in just a few minutes.
And welcome back. I love that you found a chicken police GIF. That's awesome. I love it. It's so good. Oh, okay, hold on. So wait, where's Bubo?
Let's go.
Oh. Hold on.
What about this?
Gives me the creeps.
I feel you, brother.
Life goal, not to bleed to death here one day.
Hey, buddy. How's it hanging?
That bird is crazy.
Who, Bubo?
He tried to cut my arm off. He said he'd replace it with another one, but I'm sure he wanted to eat it.
What, Bubo? Oh, no, he's not like that.
Don't get cute with me. You wanted me dead, right?
So he didn't even treat you?
Actually, yes. After I told him that I wouldn't let him cut my arm off, or anything else for that matter, he finally just set the bone straight, and voila! Good as new!
So you can play the piano again?
Well, my first thought was that I could grip the bottle with both hands again, but damn the feathered heavens, yes! I will play the piano!
That's fantastic. Glad we could help. But your friend is still a crazy-ass son of a duck.
He may be a fantastic doctor, but he's a madman, and almost certainly a cannibal.
Well, nothing can be ruled out.
So, if you don't mind, I'll be getting back to my future. And my love.
You mean Zenaida?
And my piano. Yee-hoo! Into the hive!
Title drop again.
Stop that right now, Marty.
Okay.
My favorite chickens.
Ah, that's nice of you, Doc.
I think he was being ironic, Marty.
Now, well, it's still good to see ya, you big hoot.
You are a real sweetheart, Marty. Well, what do you want?
We were just passing by. Thought we'd see how you were doing.
Sonny, there's a lot of things to say about you, but selfless do-gooder ain't one of them. So cut the chicken shit.
Okay, I get it. Actually, yeah, we do want something from you.
Ooh, what a surprise. So spit it out while I rest my eyes.
It rhymed.
What do you think about the current situation in the city?
And the Hive, the riots?
Aren't you suspicious of what's happening around the meat substitute factory?
The king's been acting pretty strange lately, don't you think, old owl?
Asleep, is he?
Yeah.
I never know if he's sleeping or ignoring us.
That's the question, Marty.
He sleeps all the time. Do you think it's his age? How do you, as an insider, see it?
Pluck you, Marty. Besides, he's probably just had too much morphine and formaldehyde.
And he probably doesn't care about anything in life anymore.
That too.
Shit. It's not good for him to be alone. Everybody needs someone. Oh, I didn't mean to offend you. You've got me anyway.
Yeah, you're right.
Title drop again. So good.
Thanks for fixing the Kakapo's hand, Doc.
It was an interesting procedure. It would have been easier to just cut that hand off. But for some reason, he persisted.
A bar pianist attached to his hand, huh? What a freak.
Thanks. Let's hope he can get his life back on track.
Who cares? Good night.
Good night, Bubo.
He sleeps all the time. Do you think it's his age? How do you, as an insider, see it?
Pluck you, Marty. Besides, he's probably just had too much morphine and formaldehyde.
And he probably doesn't care about anything in life anymore.
That too.
Shit. It's not good for him to be alone. Everybody needs someone. Oh, I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, you.
I was like, wait a minute. Use item.
Here's an opened can of original MEAT. Can you test it for us?
Sure. Come back later and I'll tell you what I've got.
Yeah, don't eat the whole thing. Save it for the test.
What do you take me
Nacho,
for?
welcome in.
I know you, old owl. We'll come back later.
I can't wait.
How are you liking this? I've been wanting to play it. I really enjoy it. Oh, and Shady, welcome in also. Have you played the first one? Paint It Red? If you haven't, Paint It Red is also great. But this has been wonderful. I mean, the writing is very much I think I have the first one. Okay, well, first one is fantastic. And you don't have to play the first one to have played this, but it's probably helpful in that there are quite a few returning characters, and so not that you like need to know them, but it's just kind of it's a fun little thing to be like, oh, like we've seen this character before, and they helped us out in the first game or whatever. I'm a sucker for detective noir style stuff. Same. I love this era, and they do a great job of that. I think I was saying this one of the last streams of this, but they seem to have like really nailed the vibe for sure. The writing is at times is very like noir detective. I will say like they definitely add a lot of humor to this, and there's a lot of puns and stuff, being that they're all animals and stuff. So there is some lighthearted stuff, but when it gets into the mystery or like the real story of it, I feel like they've nailed the style, the characters. Yeah. So there's a lot of like that. Sometimes it's actually interesting. There's been more like just straight up cursing in this game. I feel like in the first game, it's mostly censored, except for like a couple of times. So they've definitely not censored themselves more times in this game. But yeah, so there's humor. I have only played the first Frog Detective games. I want to play the other ones, but I loved Frog Detective. I thought it was so good, or at least the first one. I didn't even know there was a sequel. Yeah, so actually, the Chicken Police universe, with the CPU, if you will, is there's actually a bunch of games. Or like they have a bunch of games coming out. So there's Chicken Police Paint It Red, which is like the first game in the whole thing. They currently have then this one, Chicken Police Into the Hive. They are working on a game that's going to be coming out soonish called Moses and Plato Last Train to Clawville, which is there's two different like police characters that you meet in both of these games, and it's like a train mystery. It's different visually, and I don't know. We played the demo for that game, and it still kind of fits the detective vibe. I don't know if it's as noir-ish, but it was still fun from what we played. I really want to play that. They're also making like a beat 'em up game, and I think something else. Oh, there was also so there's a character named Zip, who's my favorite. He is like a raccoon cafe owner. There is they made a game for him called Zip's Cafe that's a lot like Coffee Talk, if you're familiar with that game, where it kind of serves as an in-between from Paint It Red to Into the Hive, because they introduced some bug characters. I think there was a detective bug character in this game that I think has a role in Zip's Cafe, but in Zip's Cafe you basically make coffee for people, and then you're like just listening to them tell their stories and stuff. So anyway, I really love this like series of games. The writing has been fantastic, and I think if you are a fan of noir stuff, you're going to be a big fan of this. I was playing them and it left Game Pass before I could play the third. No! Oh, that's such a bummer. Yeah, I've only played the first one. I own the other two, but I've been waiting for like a good time to throw them in. But yeah, I think if you're, because I love like old detective movies and stuff. I think it's so good. The hard-boiled slang, the hardened detective and all that. And there are times where they just absolutely nail that with this game. May I make a tiny self promo? Sure, Shady. I did buy the 3rd on sale, so I need to play it soon. I can't wait. I'm sure they're great. I've heard wonderful things about it. I want to work on my Australian accent, because apparently the devs are Australian. And I feel like the next time I play Frog Detective, I need to make him Australian, you know? Because I tried to do some voices, and then when I learned, I was like, oh, this is a perfect time to do my terrible Australian accent. The humor was my type of humor. It's so good. The Sherlock games are on a huge Black Friday sale. I saw that. So if you like Detective Lovecraft stuff, you could look into The Awakened. Yes. The Frogwares Sherlock games are on a deep sale. I didn't know that. Yeah. So the devs are Australian, and I was like, oh. How now, brown cow? I don't even know if I could do that in an Australian accent. I mean, I could barely do anything in an Australian accent besides razor blades. Have you been here for that, Alex? The like how to say razor blades in an Australian accent? But also the Sherlock games are great. Don't know. So I always drift from Australian to British. I just am so bad at it in general. But so there's a thing that I have heard, and it seems to be kind of like related. I've heard that same phrase with an Indian accent. Really? Okay. So there is this, I've learned this a while back, but they say if you want to do a good Australian accent, all you have to do is to say razor blades. You just have to say rise up lights together. So you take rise up lights and it becomes rise up lights. Rise up lights. That was it. Yeah. 100%. So Tap, welcome in. We were talking about you, Tap. Because we're talking Daz, I recommended Severance to Daz, and he said he loved it. I was like, Tap recommended it to me, and I recommended it to everyone else. As an Indian guy telling us, and maybe that was it. Oh, maybe that's where I got confused. Yeah. Am I in time for the accent lessons? No, I would not be good at that. I can't. Oh gosh, I wish I could do an Australian accent. One, because I think it sounds so cool. Two, because if I could do that, anytime I play D&D, I'd make every elf an Australian. Because you don't see that. And I would like that. I want all of my elves to be Aussies. But I really need to, I need to work on that. No, I don't think so. Not trying to get canceled. Okay, yeah, bacon. I have heard that. Yeah. I actually got confused there for a second. I was like, when I was trying to think of rise up lights, I was like, is it bacon? No, I was like, no, it's a different one. Yeah, I actually follow a bunch of, on Instagram, I follow a bunch of, this music is fitting. It does fit my vibe, doesn't it? The somewhat cheesy, corny court jester. I don't know. Or like carnival worker. So what was I gonna say? Something about accents. Oh, I follow a bunch of people on Instagram who are like Aussie English teachers. Who I think their main purpose is supposed to be like for people who are maybe like immigrants to Australia who are also learning English for the first time, but they're also learning like Aussie English. So it's like they kind of teach you slang and all of that, and then how to say the slang correctly and whatever. But I watch it because I'm trying to see if I can get the accent down, and it's just not working. I'm so bad. But I'm just kind of bad at like accents and voices anyway. That's not really something that I'm very good at. So anyway, but I watch a lot of those videos, and I'll I don't know. I just try to, at the very least, it helps me like when if I'm hanging out with an Aussie in like a voice chat or something, I can like they say something too slangy, I'll be like, oh, okay, now I got it. I did my research. Before hanging out. Tab, how are you? What is the highlight of your day? How are things going? I hope you're having a fantastic one. Anyway, one day I'll get the Aussie accent down. And then I'll do it, and I'll offend all of the Australians. Anyway, we can also continue. I gave him the thing, right? Yeah. Oh, we got the claw back. Very nice. Okay, I don't think... No. So now... I guess we go talk to the queen? Pretty decent day. Working overtime, work from home, so that's always pretty chill. How goes it here? It's going pretty well. Just kind of lounging today. It's going to be a quick stream. We probably will only go for another, like, 35 minutes or so. Just trying to make some progress on this game. I think we might do bonus streams tomorrow and Sunday just to kind of, like, continue this. Because we have so many games that we need to play. I need to get started on Tears of the Kingdom so I can catch up to you, Tab. But I'm glad it's been a good, like, work from home day. I'm glad you didn't have to go into the office. It feels like Saturday to me, though, but hope you're having a good one. How was your Thanksgiving? Should it take too long to catch up? I don't know. We'll see. I'm only halfway through. I've only done 25 hours so far, so I'm like, I don't know. I still have quite a few to catch up to you hours-wise anyways. Oh, Hank.
Hey, Hank. All alone? Where's that wasp-waisted femme fatale?
So she really existed?
She sure seemed to.
You know, she kissed me in the back alley. And then I woke up hours later dizzy as a goose. I thought I'd had too much to drink and I was dreaming the whole thing.
And nothing was missing? Could she have been a thief?
I don't think so. She didn't look like a simple pickpocket.
She didn't take anything. And I don't think she even molested me.
There's nothing sacred anymore.
Strange. Anyway, good to see that everything's okay with you, Hank.
Cheers, chickens.
Is she not here? Yeah. Thanksgiving was good. Kept it super simple. Only really saw immediate family and niece and nephew. Watched football and napped the rest of the time. Oh, that sounds like such a wonderful day. Sounds like such a good one.
Hey, Hank. You okay, buddy?
Oh, the clan spies are everywhere. Lucky for you, the Queen said to leave you lads alone.
She did? Wow, I'm flattered.
Unfortunately, we can't trust anyone anymore. Not even our own kind. What a slimy world we live in.
Well, life's not just all cupcakes and rainbows, that's for sure. Take care of yourself, pal.
Yeah, you too, ducks.
Chickens.
Whatever.
Oh, there's still more.
Anything else, Hen?
Roosters. You know, the male chicken is the rooster and the female chicken is the...
Marty, I think he said it that way on purpose.
Ah, I see. Rude.
Huh? You want anything else? If you don't spoil the air here. I'm hunting clan spies.
Happy hunting, Hank.
Don't spoil the air.
No more question. Let's go.
Huh? Wait a minute. Where to in such a hurry?
Look how cute they are together, Sonny, like two eggs.
I've seen prettier eggs.
What the click you want, chickens? You think you can just jive in and out of here at will? Yeah, we don't like your kind around here.
What do you mean, our kind? Chickens?
Coppers. But the fact that you're chickens doesn't help at all.
Look, we've got vital information for the Queen. Stand aside and let us through.
Yeah. If the Queen so decides, you may as well eat our heads afterwards. What?
Well, let's not get carried away.
Okay.
Fine, Castor, let them go. You can go in, but we'll be watching you. Birds.
Threatening insect speech.
Ugh, you give me the creeps.
Yeah, that's the point.
What's all the fuss about, boys? Seems like everyone is stressed to the breaking point.
The clan.
More specifically?
The Golden Fang captured a few of our lads. Again, including 7 of our brothers. The bastards. The Queen has ordered everyone to regroup at the shelters.
Do you think they're gonna finish off the web for good?
Ha! Fat chance of that. All we know is they're up to something big, something that'll hurt the entire Hive, maybe even the whole damn city.
Sounds pretty awful.
We're not going to the slaughterhouse, that's for sure. Well said, Bug Brother.
Thanks, boys. Maybe later.
Just to see. Do you have anything? Oh.
Oh, you again. You're still alive. That's good to see. Did you find out what you wanted?
As a matter of fact, we did. It's a surprise to us too, but maybe more than we wanted.
That's really good to hear. But still, you know, a lot of the truth that comes out of the Hive is unlikely to be true anywhere else.
I don't get that.
I think I do. Different laws, different rules, different truths.
As the top detective says.
Thanks, Bart. We'll keep that in mind.
Yes, his name is Bart Ender, for those keeping score. I know it's not a one-to-one audibly, but there's something about Sonny's vibe that just feels like Bob Hoskins. I can't remember who the voice actor is, but he's also like, I think he's kind of known for doing this sort of like, you know...
Down to the hole we go.
Like, I don't know. Yeah, but I definitely hear what you're saying. All right. Anything else before we talk to her? Doesn't look like it.
We can't help but notice the tension.
This is the
that
Queen.
Pervades the entire Hive,
well,
but especially this place.
She's known as the Queen. She's like the head of a insect gang sort of deal. The timing of that line delivery felt like you were doing it as an impression, and I was about to be so impressed. No, not at all. That's just how I talk. I've recently had to listen to myself talk quite a bit, and wow, do I hate it. I'm like, I need to figure out how to, like, I stop so much in the middle of a sentence, and I hate it. I can't listen to myself. It's the worst. I don't know how you guys do it. We can't. Okay, yeah.
Unfortunately, we suffered heavy losses yesterday. The clan has taken a number of our most useful and hard-working people, and we have not yet been able to find out what happened to them.
They're eating them.
Any idea where they might be holding them?
It's an open secret, Mr. Featherland. The MEAT factory is a fortress, and clearly a clan hideout. We're pretty sure that's where they took them. Why and what they're doing with them there, we have no idea.
You know, we were planning to visit that place. Maybe we can help you, if you'll just put some of your men at our disposal.
I'm afraid that's impossible, Mr. Featherland. You see, there are only a handful of us left. We must protect what little we have. This is not the time to take risks.
I see. Well, if we learn anything, we'll let you know.
We are obliged, detectives.
Hey, Sonny, are you sure it's a good idea to ally with a criminal organization?
It's not an alliance, Marty. Just a common interest. The Great Web may be a criminal organization, but they're weak, vulnerable, and currently helping us eliminate a problem far more threatening than themselves.
How did our goal go from a small missing insect case to taking down the most powerful criminal gang in the city in just 2 days?
Good question, Marty. But I have a feeling it's not even the bottom of the well.
Son of a bitch. Next time, tell me to bring a scuba suit.
I thought you'd gotten used to it over the years.
You don't get used to this, Boss Bird.
No, it wasn't shady. People rarely enjoy their own voice. You think you hate your voice now, wait until you edit 250 episodes of yourself on a podcast. I hate my voice as well, but eventually I had to get over it when going through videos. I will say, yeah, I'm not a big fan of my voice, but I have gotten used to it. It's more, I was recently editing something where I was talking for about an hour and a half. And so I had to listen to myself talk, freeform, like it was not scripted or anything. And boy, the amount of times I say like and you know is unbearable. And I just cannot stand it. As well as I do this thing where I will be in the middle of a sentence and then I stop to think and then I continue it. But it's not like I like stop mid-sentence. Instead of it being like I think of a sentence and then I stop and then I think of the next one. And so it's like really hard to follow sometimes, I think. Or maybe for people I was having a hard time following listening to myself talk, because I'm like, surely other people have trouble listening to that when I'm like, I don't know, when I'm just talking about something random. I'll just sort of, you know, I'll just stop. Like, and anyway, so I was like, it's like, goodness. You have a nice voice. Thanks. Thank you, Nacho. That's the worst part to discover. Yeah, I don't know. So I listen to myself and I hate that I mean, I know I say and like a lot. I've known that for a very long time, but hearing it and hearing I guess I didn't also realize how often I say you know. But I do say you know quite often. In public speaking class, we did this thing called yeah, like, you know, whatever, where you had to see how long you could talk about a random subject without saying any of those words. And I kind of did okay at that, but I have to really concentrate, and I have to have some idea where I'm gonna go. But I just do it so naturally, and I need to figure out a way to stop, and I just don't know how to do that. Because when I'm talking fast, or fast for me, it's hard for me to think about, I don't know, what I'm saying. So I've thought about, there are ways to set up things like if you, you know, we have something listen to you, it will like, you can make it do something if you say a certain like key word. And I thought about trying to see if I could program some of those in there, so maybe it does something on the screen every time I say one of those. Maybe that'll eventually program me to stop saying those. But one, I think I don't know how we would handle something like because then if I say helium, like will it be like, you know, will it do it? Or sometimes I use like legitimately. But I've actually, I almost said it there. I have thought about maybe trying to see if I can train myself to say as if instead of like. So instead of saying, you know, instead of saying this is like this, maybe I can switch it up so it's I can train myself to be to say, well, I guess in that I would say like it is as though as if this happened. I don't know. Try and see if I can find a replacement for it, but I don't think it's gonna happen. It's almost like this is live or something. I know, but the thing is that even still, there are people who speak so eloquently and well that they're probably much better to listen to. And you know, again, I think it's also when I am talking and I end up just pausing in the middle of a sentence, and it's because I'm thinking. I think I suffer from being a bit of a slower processor, but at times being a fast talker. And so my mouth is having, or my brain is almost having to catch up with my mouth, and eventually I just have to stop for a second and figure out where I'm going. And so then it's just kind of rough, and I think it makes it not as enjoyable for people to listen to, and like, I don't know. I think when I'm talking about something that I really like or I'm really passionate about, I think I'm fine, and there's less of that pausing, and there's less of whatever. Or if I've had time to think about something enough, I'll have the see, like I did it there. Like I'll be able to just talk normally, but I for whatever reason, it's I don't know. I was listening to myself and I was like I feel like I'm having trouble listening to me, so I'm sure, you know, this thing that I was recording, I was like, the person who's gonna listen to this, they're gonna struggle with it. I could not do public speaking. I wouldn't even get up in front of my class for school projects. I don't mind public speaking is the thing. Like, I don't mind being in front of a crowd and all of that. I think I just need to get better at the actual speaking part. I don't get nervous in being in front of people, but I still, you know, I think I could do a lot better at talking in a way that would be more palatable. Make it a balloon that just slowly inflates so that helium is on point. There we go. I don't as if that idea. As if used to be a way we doubted people. Like, as in saying, like, as if, like, clueless. I know, but it is, like, it can be a substitute for like, though, right? Because I will say, I'm trying to think of an example of when you would use like. I don't know why this is my example. For some reason, the first example that popped into my head was, and I don't even have the setup for this, would be, it's like I pooped myself. I don't know why I would ever say that. But then the flip side is saying, it's as if I pooped myself. So, you see, you can use as if in that situation to substitute like. I don't think anyone has an issue with people saying like as a comparator. That's a totally valid use. Yeah, that's true. I just mean like, I just use it so it's just such an easy word for me to say that I think I need to almost get rid of it entirely. Nacho, I hope you have a great night. Thank you for coming and hanging out. Also, if you check out Chicken, please let me know if you play the first one and stuff. I hope you enjoy it. If you're just using it as a gap filler while thinking, you're hardly alone, and like versus all fill the same function. People don't actually hear it in conversation as much as you do when you listen back. That's probably fair. And I know people, I've heard linguists argue that those words do have a purpose and they are helpful. And it's true, like I think it does help me think, as well as I tend to use it also when because I have trouble, I am somebody that's not very good at interjecting myself in a conversation if I'm with other people. If everybody else are sort of like aggressive talkers, I tend to not get in a word, because I like to let everyone kind of else go, and I don't know how to. I didn't like grow, like, because I know some people grow up in a household where maybe they have a lot of siblings, or they just have like, maybe their parents are very like kind of aggressive talkers, and so they just know how to like YV. Oh, that thing didn't work. Hold on. Let me fix that. YV, welcome in. How are you? Let me fix this. And now let's do it again. There we go. No, I did it for you. I fixed it. How are you, YV? How's the start of your day? So, I was saying, I'm not really an aggressive talker. Okay, wait, rewind. So, already exhausted, why? So some people grow up in a house where they kind of learn to be an aggressive talker, or they know how to inject themselves in a conversation, and I am not very good at that. And so I think I have sort of learned to say when I'm about to say something, especially if I'm in a group, as sort of as a way to kind of like get my foot in the door, if that makes sense. Like it's almost my way of saying I'm gonna try to say something. Whereas I have like friends who growing up, maybe they had lots of siblings or, you know, very talkative siblings, and so they had to kind of compete to speak. And so they've just learned how to, you know, while somebody is like ending their thing, they will already start talking, or will already like almost be talking over them to get in what they say. And I tend not to do that. I'm not very good at that. So I know, like I use and as a way to sort of be like, all right, and now I'm gonna lead into what I'm gonna say. So I don't know. Those words have purpose and meaning, but I'm not very good at speaking like a normal human. I'll explain later. Okay. Fair. But I'm doing pretty good. We're actually going to be ending soon. We'll probably only go for another like 15 minutes or so, but let me catch up though. I did a linguistics course at uni and had to transcribe conversation, and trust me, no one hears it. Their brain just ignores it. Oral language is messy and irregular, and it doesn't matter unless you're cliched Californian influencer. Like. I guess that's true. That's an acceptable way though. Like, I poop myself is the bad way. I like poop myself. That's great. I do have a story where maybe that is related. There was one time where this was, I think, this is either late high school or early college. I remember it was late at night, and I was sitting on the carpet playing Super Smash Brothers or something really late at night, and I was like, I really have to fart, and I farted. And then I was like, wait. And it felt as if I pooped myself. But good to know, for those who are curious, I did not. It just was a very bad fart. So anyway, so you know, that example I gave could be relevant in some situations, but anyway, I don't really know how to move on from that. But yeah, I don't know. I recorded something recently, and I had to listen to myself because I was editing it and everything. And as I was doing it, I was like, we don't move on. As I was listening to it, I was like, I cannot listen to myself talk about whatever. Like again, it was almost like I noticed the ums and I noticed those words, but I think the thing that bugged me the most is the way I will, in the middle of a sentence, I will stop, and then I will continue it. And I feel like that might be hard to listen to. So sometimes I'm like, I wonder if, like, a lot of people who come into the stream, if they listen to me talk and are like, oh, this is just annoying, and are like, I'm never coming back here. I feel like I should get better at, like, speaking like a normal person. That destroyed me. I agree. I think only because it's you listening to you, you notice it. I don't ever notice it. Okay. Maybe that's the case. Maybe that's the case, but I hope so. Because boy, did I notice it. And maybe now that I've mentioned it, maybe you guys will now hear it every time. And then slowly you will all, go away. If anything, it not being there feels unnatural sometimes. You see, I don't know. We're saying this, but what if I became a much better speaker? And then we're like, wait, no, actually your content is much better when you speak like an educated person. Because I watch a lot of, I don't watch a lot of, top tier streamers and content creators and stuff. But when I do, like Dex Bonus is very good at speaking. She speaks very like naturally and casually, but she doesn't do a lot of those filler words really. And I mean, she has training and doing like, she's hosted shows before. Like she's like news shows, like at gaming news shows, and she's done like podcasts and stuff. So like she has experience doing that. Her husband is Strippin, who's in the Yogg's cast, and he doesn't really do that often either, but I don't really know what his experience would be. But I guess like he's just done content creation for so long that maybe he's like trained himself to get better at that. There's another guy that I watched some random video of his. I'd never heard of him before, but he just like, I was like listening to the way he was speak. Like I will focus on the way people will talk and like the words they use and stuff. And I was just like he speaks so well. And then I look at my stream, then I hear me talking. I'm like, bleh. I hate my voice, so I get it. It's one of those things. I don't know. Like I've gotten used to my voice. Like it used to bug me more when I started streaming, and then as I've listened to it, like it you know, it doesn't bother me. I think it could be better, but there's not a lot I can do about that. But it's more now the way I talk. Educated people can sound awful, though. That's fair. I think it's better if you can code switch your language to suit your audience. Yeah, that... I think... I don't know. It's yeah, I think you're right. I think it's hard for me to... I think I've trained myself to be so just me sometimes that it's hard for me to like switch things up a little bit. I think it also annoys me. I hear myself using the same words often. And I'm like, I need to like expand my vocabulary a little bit, but I don't really know what other words I would use really in place of this. Like, I feel like, I don't know. English Lit was always my favorite like subject in class. I like growing up. So I feel like I don't know. I appreciate good writing and good, you know, whatever, but for whatever reason, my like talking, you know, whatever. It just feels so subpar. but it's one of those things. I don't know how I would improve it. Like unless I went to like, I took a Toastmasters course or something. You know, that would be. I become a Toastmaster, or I take some kind of public speaking thing now. But it just seems like. I don't know. I'm not in school anymore, so I don't know what would be the point of that, really. Anyway. Jetpack Toastmaster has a ring to it. New branding? Rebrand? I'm glad, I will say, like, there is a benefit that I'm not, like, the alternative, where it's more of, like, the Twitch typical lingo, I guess. Like, I don't... You know, I'm not, you know, trying to fit in with like Gen Z or something. Like, you know, I'm glad that I'm not swinging to that alternative where then I'm trying to be something just so obnoxiously not me. But I don't know. I feel like there's a way I can improve that I think I could be a little bit more. I don't want to say professional, but because I'm not trying to be professional necessarily. Like that's not the vibe that I'm going for. But you know, I feel like there's something that I could do that's a bit more broadly accepted, broadly enjoyed by many. Yeah, that's why I admire drip. Thank you. I do be dripping, don't I? If it's only your perception of your own voice, and maybe it just needs a reframing in your mind. Me overthinking, that doesn't sound right. I regret everything. Me being hard on myself? Nah, that's surely not. By no means does that sound like me. But maybe I believe in you. Thank you, Alex. You could be right. our pal YV is quite versed in telling me that I'm either overthinking or being too hard on myself. So you are in good company. You are in very good company. You're probably correct, but I still overthink. It's just so easy. It's so easy to, I don't know. But it's true. Yeah, he knows. So I took Strengths Finders. I don't know if you guys have heard of that before. I took it a long time ago. It's a test where you buy a book and you take a test online, and it gives you your top 5 strengths, and like the book then pretty much just breaks down like the list of 35 or something, and then kind of helps tell you like either explains your strength, or if you know other people's, you can then like you can read it to learn how to best work with them. One of those things that one of my top strengths was developer, which I think is true about me. And I will say, like any personality test, like it's not going to always be 100%. Use it as a tool. Evaluate if you actually think it's true about you or not. Developer, I think, is something that's true about me. And it's one of those things where I feel like I do a good job of, in a general sense, I will see something and I can figure out how it can be better. If I'm working on a project, or if I'm helping somebody, I can usually do a good job of like saying, this is something that we can do to make it better, and here are the steps we can take to make it better. But a negative of that is I am very critical, I think, of myself and of, all of this. So I will look at it and just be like, all right, this is terrible. There's so much we need to do to get better. I need to do this, that, and the other to, improve these things. But there's not enough time in the day. I am much more equipped to help other people than to help myself. So I am more passionate about, if I can help somebody else do something better, I will do that, than work on my own stuff. But anyway, so that's a little bit about me. But I surely that is when I listen to myself talk, and I as I was editing the video and whatever, I was like, oh, gosh, like this feels like a nightmare. But anyway, well, friends, we can go ahead. We're just gonna end for today. This is gonna be a fairly short stream, but I think we're gonna do bonus streams this weekend, because I want to try to see if we can finish Chicken Police pretty soon. So friends, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for hanging out with me. We'll be back tomorrow, I think. I'll let you guys know when, but we'll come back with some more Chicken Police. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope whatever you're doing today is awesome. Take care, Jet and all. Have a nice weekend. Shady, thank you for being here. Tap, Alex, YV, Emmer, Sassy. I know Daz was here earlier. Everybody, Nacho, thank you for being here and hanging out with me. That is it for us today. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. And I will talk to you again next time. Bye-bye.